Okay, today is June 28th, and check out the flowers. So 7 days ago, these petunias were so big I could barely walk through them to get down the steps. And you can see, obviously, I have hacked off a ton of foliage and flowers. So they were just, I don't know, I think they're really struggling in this heat. They started getting like a bald spot here in the middle. You can actually see like the dirt in the pot. So I thought if I trimmed them up a little bit, maybe they would send some energy, some growth towards the middle, maybe mound up a little bit better. But we'll see. I think they say you're supposed to take like 20% off of the plant. I took about 60% off of them, so. And you can actually see out in the woods the pile where I put the flowers that I took off. It's been like 2 or 3 days and they are still flowering, putting off new growth, like new buds. I just, every day I come out and look at them and they have new flowers on them. They actually look better decapitated laying over there in the woods than they did in the pot. So I thought that was crazy. You can definitely tell like a human hand was involved in the creation of these zombie plants. But yeah, hopefully they start to look a little bit better. They've been really struggling in this heat. It's been almost like 100 degrees every day. But then we have the beautiful, beautiful Amazonas plum cockatoo. Love this so, so, so much. Can't even see the leaves on this. There's just so many flowers. I love it. I want just all pots full of these next year. And the verbena, more petunias. Elephant ear put off a new leaf today. Kufia looking good. Lantana's doing great. This one doesn't have very many flowers, but it's got a lot of buds. So it'll be nice and colorful here soon. The tomato is doing amazing. Look how big this has got since just in 7 days. I think the last video I did was June 21st. So just 7 days. A lot of growth already. And it's so funny because this is the best looking tomato that I have right now. And it's planted in just some crappy old potting soil that I collected from a bunch of different used pots. And it absolutely loves it. So, of course, the best looking tomato that I have likes the crappiest soil that I thought would immediately kill it. There's like sweet pea flower seeds in here and a bunch of stuff that didn't germinate. That's so funny to me. But yeah, doing great. And then we have the dichondra over here. Doing really good, nice and full. I just love, love, love this plant so much. This is my first year ever growing it. And I'm always going to have it, I think. Love it. I love these just like... It's so simple, probably kind of boring to most people, but I just really love these boring, plain, simple pots. It just reminds me of like Greek or Roman, like those beautiful planters they have. And then we have the hanging baskets. So here's the portulaca. I think I'm going to trim that up too. It doesn't have very many flowers on it. I don't see very many buds, so maybe I'll give that a little trim as well. Definitely going to trim these. So I have, the past 2 weeks, I have been really lacking on the fertilizer. It has been so hot to come out here and sit and mix up everything, water everything. I mean, I have so many plants to take care of. The garden with the vegetables, the tomatoes, peppers, they all get fertilized. But the containers and the hanging baskets have taken a back seat in this heat to fertilization. So maybe when I get back on track with that, it'll look a little bit better. And of course, when I trim it up as well. You see the dahlias here, a bunch of buds. I think this is what they look like after they've bloomed. And then this is what they look like before. But all of these flowers are doing really good. Tons of buds. I found the best way to fertilize all of my plants when it's not 100 degrees outside. I used to just have like a half-gallon water pail and have to sit there and fill it up and mix, sit there, fill it up and mix, fill it up and mix over and over like 20 times. It took me 2 hours to like fertilize everything in the garden. But got this 5-gallon bucket. I saw a couple other people do it. I watch a lot of flower channels, stuff like that, gardening, of course. 5-gallon bucket. Say your fertilizer is usually like what, 1 tablespoon to a gallon. 5 gallons, 5 tablespoons, mix it up, boom, there you go. 5 gallons of fertilizer. And then I got a little cup in there. I just cup it out and dump it on the plant. More dahlias, and you can see the Japanese beetles have arrived, and they are going to eat every single flower in my garden. I know it, they do every year. This basket looking like it's struggling a little bit, but like I said, we'll trim it up, fertilize it. And then the hostas are in bloom. Bunch of flowers on those. I know a lot of people don't like hosta flowers. They're okay. I leave them for the bees. The bees absolutely love them. They like getting inside the little flowers here. So I just leave them up for the bees. They are related to the asparagus family. I thought that was a cool little fun fact. But yeah, once they're done flowering, I'll clip those. The hostas are doing okay. As good as they can be in this ridiculous heat. You can see my little buddy over there. She's an outdoor cat. She won't come to me. She won't let me pet her. I do feed her. She doesn't bother the squirrels, birds, anything like that. She's not like a nuisance or anything, or a danger to the wildlife out here. But she just hangs out, lays there with me while I'm outside, even though she won't let me pet her. Really cute little cat. And then the garden. So I'm having some really hard times in the garden this year. I don't know what's going on with a lot of my plants. I've had a ton of blossom end rot. It's very rare that I get this in my garden, but this year I have already taken off probably like 10 or 15 tomatoes with blossom end rot. And I follow a couple soil scientists, and you know, they say that blossom end rot comes from a calcium deficiency, which is caused from improper watering, but it could also be a couple other things. So don't know exactly why that is happening, but we still have a couple good tomatoes. Every time I get excited about one, I always lift it up and check just to make sure there's no brown bottoms on it. But there are a good bit of tomatoes on all of these plants, except for this. Now this was one of the tomatoes that I was most excited about, the monkey ass. So I planted 6 of them, only 3 of them came up. 2 of them have already died, and this one is on its way to dying. And it's so weird because it is in between all of these other tomatoes. You know, you can see the early girl over here. Look at the one it's right next to. So look at this early girl. Doing good, plant's nice and green, no disease, no blossom end rot. I mean, the plant just looks really, really good, the early girl. And then the plant on the other side of it, the hillbilly, you can see how good that looks. It's got tomatoes on it as well, no blossom end rot. All of these other ones look great. They're doing good, no problems, but this tomato right here, for some reason, is struggling, and I'm beginning to think it was something in the seed itself. So like I said, I watched some soil scientists, and they do say that bacteria can be carried within the seed. So maybe that's what happened. Just awfully odd. One tomato out of all these plants are struggling. So I don't know. I think I might get rid of the rest of those seeds and just not waste my time, not bother with it. I've already pulled off a bunch of blossom end rot tomatoes on it anyways, so I'm just going to pull it out and give one of these guys a chance, because check it out. They're in these little teeny tiny pots and they're just pumping out tomatoes. You can see that in this teeny tiny little pot, suffering. Another one here. These guys deserve to be in the garden, and I think I'm going to do that this weekend. So the bean patch looking really good. Tons and tons of beans. I could probably come out here right now and just fill up an entire bowl of all of these beans. So many plants. The plants are struggling a little bit. This dries out really quick, and I think it's I think they've just had their time. But you can see the massive amounts of beans everywhere. Tomatoes are doing good. This is the other tall dwarf, like the one on the porch. We have some baby spaghetti squash. You can see one down there. I don't know if that one got pollinated or not. Probably not, but we have another one right here. You see that through there. And then another tomato plant. Little dwarf. Another tomato plant right there. I don't see any flowers or buds on it yet. And then we have this cute little snack bell pepper. The coleus doing good back here. Impatiens. The peppers are doing the best out of everything, it seems like. They love this heat. Pepper plants do love heat, so they've been faring well in this hot environment. But there's some more. We have a habanada. See these habaneros without heat. Can't wait to try this. We have a bunch down there. One of them's even starting to turn a little bit. We have a nata pino. Bunch of peppers on that. Another habanada, I think. Snack bell. So I don't think they'll get any bigger than that. They're just little snacking bell peppers. Strawberries. Only 2 of these plants are ever bearing. The rest are only June bearing plants. They're probably almost done. You can see some strawberries on there, and some of these runners are like 4 foot long. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Another one. I think these 2 plants right here are the ever bearing plants. Seascape. We have the nasturtium down here doing good. It's been, you can see all the damage from leaf miner bugs. A lot down there. But at least they've just been hanging out on this plant and leaving my other ones alone, which was the goal. And then we have a Kellogg's breakfast. Look at that. Nice sized tomato. And they don't have blossom end rot. Thank goodness. Oh, I was so afraid to look at the bottom of those. They do have some cracking though. You can see on that one, the second largest one. But I'm just going to leave it on there. And then we have the sugar baby watermelon. You can see that little guy. Another one up here. Bunch of little baby watermelons on this. We have some Kajari melons. I just saw one a few days ago. I wonder how big it's gotten. There it is. Little Kajari melon. Can't wait for these. Plants are doing good. All of the melon plants are doing really good this year, thank goodness. And then the zinnias. So check it out. I just cannot get this thing to focus today. Look at all those, all from the baking tray. Bunch of different colors. Really beautiful pinks, purples, white, light pink, mauve, hot pink. Really, really love zinnias. Easiest flower to plant from seed, in my opinion. And some of the most beautiful. Easiest and most beautiful. My favorite combination. So I got my little flower vase right here with some water in it. And I'm actually, when I'm done this video, I'm going to cut, So you can see, here's a good example. On the zinnias, you can see right here, 2 branches. You have one in the middle and one on each side. I'm gonna cut this right here so it'll get bushy. These ones on the side will get much bigger, bushier, fuller. And then I'm gonna cut this one off and put it in my little vase here and have a little bouquet from my own garden. Like this one, I'll cut it off here. You can see the 2 coming out. I'll cut that one off. I'll cut this one off. You can see some growth on this side. Right here, I'll cut that middle one off so the other 2 can branch out and become much fuller. But yeah, so on and so forth. You do basil the same way. There's a lot of flowers that actually benefit from a prune. And there's a bunch for me to take, so that'll be really pretty. But it is so hot out here, I don't know if I can finish this garden tour, so I'll do it really quick. Here is the sun gold, tons of tomatoes on this. Just look at these trusses. You can see those. Some up here. Tomatoes everywhere. Sun golds, best cherry tomato you could ever grow. You can see some of these. I'm afraid to look at the bottom of these. Let's see. Do they have blossom end rot? No, they don't. Thank goodness. And then we have another Sart Rollet here. See, it's getting its little black stripes. And then these 2 in the middle, I think they're doing a lot better. They were like almost dying too. So we'll see if I brought those back. They do have tomatoes on the bottom. And then we have, volunteer nasturtium is doing good. This is the Prescott Fond Blanc melon. No melons yet. The Scarlet Runner bean. I don't see any new buds on it yet. But, I don't know. Do beans do good in the heat? I don't think they do. I think this is struggling a little bit. And then we have a West Virginia sweet meat. I took a ton of blossom end rot tomatoes off of that. And when I was thinking about it, so I got the West Virginia sweet meat, tons of blossom end rot. The monkey ass, tons of blossom end rot. The West Virginia Penitentiary. I got those all from the same person, same seed company. And it seems like I have had a lot of problems with that. Every plant that I've grown so far from that company. So, is there like something lurking in the seeds or something? I don't know. I just don't seem to have that problem. It's very rare. And then we have the white currant. Bunch of tiny tomatoes on that. Really cute. Flowers look good. Vinca, marigold. We got some zinnias on the side. This poor little Weratol dwarf. It does have some sucker stems coming out, they'll be production stems. So maybe we'll get a few more tomatoes off of that. And we have another one there. Blue cream berry, pink bumblebee, and check it out. Look at this adorable little Minnesota midget cantaloupe. Look how tiny that is. So cute. And they're just like personal size, baseball size melons. They won't get big. And then we have the Rutgers tomato. Looking pretty good. Looks a little sparse. Looks like maybe it should be bigger, fuller than it is. And since this is a determinant, I have not been taking off the sucker stems, the production stems. You can see right here, this is one. Just been leaving all those on there. And we have the lavender All the ranunculus are dying. It was way too hot. It's way too hot for them. I planted them way too late. My fault. Sorry, guys. I'll do better next year. I'm just going to leave them in the ground since we're a zone warmer now. In the wintertime, maybe they'll survive. And then we have the morning glory. They haven't put off any flowers yet, so I'm still debating whether or not to pull them up. Sunflowers, coneflower seedlings, ground cherry seedlings, the pile of cucamelons that I still haven't. It's just too hot to come out here and mess with anything. I still haven't thinned those out or pulled them up. Tulsi, holy basil, more zinnias. The pollinator garden is looking really good though. Look at all these coneflowers. Check it out. Bugs love these so much, and there's so many blooms on them. Such a beautiful, beautiful plant. I did tie it up, picked it up off of the ground. We have the yarrow here, mixed in with some zinnias, lavender. There's a verbena plant in there. A bunch of coneflower seedlings, vinca, iris, more vinca, verbena, another artichoke, petunias. See, my elephant ear came up back there. All of the zinnias are doing good. It's like a field, a little miniature field of zinnias back here. Sunflowers are doing good. You can see the black hollyhock and the vintage wine getting its stripes. Let me see if I can capture that. Green stripes. Some more melons, Kajari melons, Black Beauty. Getting its color from the anthocyanins. More vinca, marigold. Another, is this a Black Beauty? No, I don't think that is. But this was another one that I got from that seed company. The other monkey ass tomato died. I don't know. Maybe it is me, but I just, when everything is doing good around the plant and that particular plant is struggling, it just seems to me like something within the plant itself. But check this out. Look at this. Beautiful artichoke. Love the flowers on this plant. So gorgeous, and the bees love it. It's just so strange. It looks like it belongs on like an alien planet. And we have the clematis. I put a little shepherd's hook in there for it to climb up. Did have a flower at the top, but it's gone now. See all the hollyhock buds. Flowers on that. Beautiful little pollinator garden here. I love it so much. Definitely need some beautiful flowers in your garden. If it was up to my husband, it would all be food. Tomatoes and peppers and melons. I think he thinks it's silly that I put so much effort, care, and time into my flowers, but they bring me just as much joy as my tomatoes do. Always gotta have a beautiful place to garden, make you want to come out and garden. But that is the update. You can see my little buddy there waiting on her water and food. So I will do another update in a week or so. It's almost July. We usually get our first ripe tomato around the beginning of July, so maybe about 2 weeks we'll have a ripe tomato, which will be so exciting. I'm tired of buying them from the grocery store. They suck. They're disgusting. I've been waiting almost a year to eat. 9 months to a year just to eat a nice fresh garden tomato. Can't wait. So I'll do another update in a week, and I'll see you then.